Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a hot topic on our hands that's causing quite a stir in the UK. The imminent closure of the country's largest bioethanol plant, Vivergo Fuels, and what it means for the economy and energy landscape is. Let's dive in. So here's the scoop. Vivergo Fuels, based in Hull and owned by Associated British Foods, is set to shut its doors after the UK government decided not to offer a rescue package to save the sector. This decision comes after months of discussions, where both Vivergo and Ensus, the second-largest bioethanol plant, cautioned that without government support, they would be forced to close. Why? Well, a recent trade deal with the US removed tariffs on imported ethanol, making it much more competitive and commercially unviable for these local plants. Now let's unpack this. The government argues that providing taxpayer funds wouldn't solve long-term issues in the industry. But here's where it gets interesting. AB Foods claims that this decision is throwing away billions in potential growth for the Humber region and jeopardizing jobs tied to clean energy. They argue that under the right regulatory environment, this plant should have thrived. And let's not forget about the jobs. 270 direct jobs at Vivergo Fuels are at stake, but thousands more in the supply chain could be affected too. This brings us to an important question. What does it mean for the UK's green energy strategy? The government has set ambitious targets, aiming for 10% of aviation fuel from sustainable sources by 2030. But how can they achieve this when they're allowing local capabilities to wither away? The GMB union's national officer hit the nail on the head when she said, "These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. These are lives being disrupted and communities potentially devastated." And let's talk about bioethanol itself. It's made from wheat and other grains and is blended into fuels, like E10 petrol. Beyond just powering vehicles, this sector supports UK farmers by purchasing thousands of tons of wheat and even contributes significantly to CO2 production for various industries. So if we're not nurturing our bioethanol industry, we're not just harming one sector, we're jeopardizing a whole ecosystem that supports agriculture, energy, and employment. Now, I know some might say this is all about free market principles and competition, but what happens when competition isn't fair? The US is heavily subsidizing its corn farmers to produce ethanol at lower costs, putting UK producers at a severe disadvantage. When you remove protective measures without ensuring a level playing field, you risk decimating your domestic industries. As we look ahead, we can't ignore the broader economic context either. With inflation still above target levels and rising government borrowing costs putting pressure on public finances, we need strategic thinking now more than ever. The Chancellor will soon unveil plans for the economy amid growing speculation over tax rises. How will these decisions impact job creation and innovation? In conclusion, while the government may believe it's acting in the national interest by withholding support from bioethanol plants, I argue we must take a broader view. Investing in clean energy technologies is not merely a cost, it's an investment in our future resilience and economic growth. By allowing key players like Vivergo Fuels to close up shop, we risk losing out on significant job opportunities and technological advancements that could position us as leaders in green energy. Thanks for tuning in today. If you're passionate about supporting local industries and advancing a sustainable economy, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this evolving story. Until next time.